Welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I'm so glad you've popped on to see me and Ellie. Let me get her up a little bit for you. Ellie, look here. There, you can see her pretty face. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And we're going to do some fun things today. We are going to play with a stamp set called Birds and Branches stamp set. And I think you're going to like it. I'm going to show you some things that you've probably not seen. And I think we're really going to have a good time today. Now, interestingly, Ellie has, let me just see, I'm trying to get my page up. Ellie has a little bow today that is a little bit indicative of what we're going to do. Hey, look here. Look, there you are. Can you see her little bow? What is it? It's a bird. It's one of the birds from the Birds and Branches stamp set that we're going to work on today. So I made her a cute little bird bow. I was kind of surprised how much I really actually liked it. I'm having trouble getting my page up here. So bear with me. Linda, I saw that you're on. There we are. There we are. Now I can see it because I like to see your comments. There they are. Hey, Linda, thank you. Yes, it's a little birdie bow. It is just for the Birds and Branches set, and I colored it with Stampin' Blends, which we're going to do today. So, so good to see you. And I want to just tell you, thank you so much for sharing last week. Everyone who shared, Linda including you, because you shared, got one of the little hippo cards that we made and that I made from last week. So one of those little hippo critter cards is on its way to you, and I'm happy to give those away. I thank you. I really appreciate you sharing. And this week, I only have one giveaway, and it is these really neat copper dotted treat bags. And I don't know if they're in the new catalog or not. I haven't checked, but I personally love them. They're great upcoming with the holidays and like fall. The copper color is so pretty, and you can put just a few little treats in there, like even for Halloween or something like that. So that's our gift, my gift this week to one person who shares. I'll put everybody who shares in a little drawing, and I'll figure it out with the random number generator. And so I'll give that away to anybody who shares, and Linda has already shared, so I thank you for that. And I have I'm going to put Ellie down because I want to tell you a secret that I'm going to tell you today, okay? I have a secret to tell you. And can you believe what's coming in December? The holidays, right? Well, last Wednesday, all of us demonstrators got to see a PDF version of the new catalog for the holidays. Now this time it's called, let me get the right name, the August to December 2020 mini catalog. But it's everything for the holidays. It's Halloween, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah. There's a little Hanukkah stamp in there, and New Year's. And we got to see the PDF version, so we know what's coming, and it's so neat. You're gonna love everything in this catalog. It hardly seems possible that it's time to have the holiday catalog, but we know that a lot of us stampers like to get started early on our holiday cards. And so the sales time for that for customers is August through December. But as a demonstrator, here's another part of the secret. I get to pre-order next Wednesday on July 1st. I can't even believe it. I get to pre-order anything in the catalog. We can only get, like one of each thing. We can't get 20 or something like that. But hey Carol Ann, and hey Jeanette, Love to see you. So I am so excited that I can pre-order this stuff, this adorable stuff, next Wednesday. And here's what I want to tell you. I know a lot of you love Stampin' Up! And you love to get things early like I do. You love to know things early and you like to get the best price. So I don't want you to forget that during the month of June is a special for joining Stampin' Up! Now what I like to call it is, instead of joining, I like to call it getting the ultimate bundle, because that's what it really is. You've probably got a list of things from the new catalog that you want to buy. So if your list includes items over $99, this is the only way to go. What happens is you pay $99 and you get $125 worth of product from that catalog. And during the month of June through June 30th, next Tuesday, I'm looking at my calendar, you get a free bundle, any bundle in that catalog. In the new catalog, any bundle you want for free on top of your $125 in product, and it all ships to you free. And to do that, it's called joining. And all that happens is that you, on your first order after that, you get 20% off every single thing you buy. So immediately upon joining or buying the ultimate bundle in June, you can see immediately the PDF of the new mini catalog. And on July 1st, you can order everything in the catalog and the same as me, and you can get 20% off what you order. It's really a no-brainer. But the special with the free bundle is only good until next Tuesday. So I want to let you know, now I was having a little trouble getting on tonight and getting all my links up there, so I don't have the link for joining. But I'll put it in right after the video's done. I'll put that link in the comments, because I would love to have you as part of my team, and I want you to get the best price for the products. And that's why I joined, is to get the discount. That's why everybody joins. And you can be a hobby demonstrator, which is you just keep on getting the discount and you get to see everything early, and it's totally fun. And you get to be on my team, and I get to work with you and give you prezzies and things like that. So I wanted you to know about that. All right. Now, we've got to get started because we have a lot to go over today on our, let me get back to my place here. On our card we're making today is from the Birds and Branches bundle. And I want to show it to you in the catalog. And let me see. Nope, let me try it one more time. Okay, there we go. Here is the bundle, and it's on page 120 of the catalog. And this is just a picture of all the different cards that you can make with this bundle. Hey, Biba. Hey, Allison, you finally made it. Susan, hello. Good to see all of you. So here is the Birds and Branches bundle, and this is what the cards, the sample cards look like. And I've even written the name of the dies because I love the dies so much, and the name is real tiny up here. It's called the Birds and More Dies. And here is a picture of the stamp set that we're going to use. So if you want to reference, it's on page 120. And I'll show you the card that we're going to make today. It is so adorable. What do you think? Isn't that just so cute? Now, you can do a lot with this set, and that's what I want to show you, some different uses for it. This is the card I made, and the one thing I love about this set is that it has the neatest circle die with leaves inside. And I want to show you what it looks like. Here it is, the circle die with the leaves inside, and that's what I have done here, is I've just cut that out on the die cutting machine. And it doesn't cut it. You have to have a piece of paper. This is 3.5 by 4, and I cut that circle using this die, and all the leaves and the little berries come out with it, and then you can do whatever you want on the inside. So let's make this card, and I'll show you how it works. I'll show you the dies first of all. Again, these are the Birds, isn't that what I said? Birds and More Dies. I put my catalog away. But here they are, and here is what's neat. well, there's probably a lot more that I'm not aware of. So this is like a bottom or a top die, but it gives kind of like a branch. And here's another branch. You have two birds, and here are their little feet, and they go either direction. You also have, these are birds that you would use with the stamp and color in. Then you have individual birds that you would just punch out. I didn't do any of those today. You have a nest, and you have little eggs. This is a flower and a heart and leaves. It is really a neat, neat set. So here is the stamp set, just like we looked at. It's a photopolymer set, birds and branches. So let's get started on our card, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to color the birds. Now, the one thing I want you to know is some people don't necessarily like birds. I've had some customers or people say, well, I'm not really into birds, but these dies do so much, and the birds are super cute. I love birds, but I think the dies are definitely worth getting anyway. So you start out with a Whisper White card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, and you score at 4 1/4. That's our standard card base. And then I have a piece of Old Olive cardstock, and that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm gonna glue that right on here. And again, I use my multi-purpose glue so that I can try to get the edges concise. Then I have a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and this is 3 3/4 inches by 5. And I'm gonna lay that right over the Old Olive. Now, one thing I wanted to talk to you about today, and I've talked to you a little bit about it before, is the way I create my cards. And what I personally like on a card is not too many colors. I try to stick to 3 colors max, especially the main colors, maybe a tiny other color. But I believe it makes your cards, I think it's a prettier look. I think it's prettier. I just like it better. I think it gives a much better look. If you have all kinds of colors, your eyes are just going everywhere. So this is what I like. Now, then I've already pre-cut my 3.5 by 4 piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I already ran it through the die cutting and emboss machine and punched out these little berries and leaves. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those for this card. Now, this card uses quite a few Stampin' Blends. I love Stampin' Blends, and I think they add so much to the card. So I'm going to get out my Old Olive Dark Stampin' Blend, and I got to get my glasses down here. And I'm going to start by coloring the, like the branches in the Old Olive. And let me just see, I do have to look, so you might see the top of my head a little bit. Just coloring the branches in the Old Olive. And it doesn't have to be real precise, I just don't want to go outside the circle. So I'm going to draw a little, I hope you can see there, kind of a little line to keep me inside. And I'm going to leave the leaves and the berries for other colors that we're going to do. But again, you can see I'm using Old Olive, which is one of the colors that I had as the background pieces on our card base. And again, I just want to be sure to keep the line at the circle kind of not mushed up. Those are my words, not mushed up. Okay, so still coloring. And you can kind of see how this goes. It's very easy. Now, of course, it would look really sweet just to leave it white, and we definitely could do that. But I just decided for fun to do it this way because I thought it gave a nice look to the card. And so I'm coloring in just the branch here, and I'm leaving the leaves and the berries untouched. And we're almost done. Just couple little things here. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to use the light Old Olive for the leaves. Hey Judy, good to see you. And I like the brush tip. Some people like the pointed tip, more like the pen tip, but I like the brush tip. Oops, I colored a berry by accident. Okay, well, I'll try to fix that. So I'm just coloring the leaves in the light Old Olive. And now we're going to go in with Flirty Flamingo, light Flirty Flamingo for the berries. And I'll see if I can cover that one up. Whoops. Okay, well, not quite, because I'm kind of going fast. But you can get the idea. That's how it looks. And now what we do is we're just going to put that on over. Now I can see I need a little bit more dark in there, so I think I'll use the pointed end to be more precise. I messed up just a little bit right there, and I need a little more right there. Don't you do that when you're, when you're creating? You're like, oh my gosh, I need to do one little more thing. So we're going to put this on our card base with Stampin' Dimensionals, one in each corner. And then we'll make our birds. And this will just lift it up, and it will allow us to put our little birds, tuck them in under there. And I don't want to go too long, because I know if you go too long, you get bored, and I get bored too. So I'm going to try to even this, top and bottom and sides. Okay, now let's do our birds. And I want to show you, let me see, here are my birds. There are two stamps that go with the birds. And one is the outline stamp, and one is kind of the inside stamp. So this is the outline stamp. And I'm going to start with Crumb Cake. And I'm going to put my bird right here. In fact, I'm going to do several birds, because we need a couple, but I'll do 3. Well, I'll do 3 anyway, in case one doesn't come out right. I always think that. And then you can also, and on my sample card, I did the other bird out of Smoky Slate. I'm just going to stamp that off. His outline out of Smoky Slate. It just gives a little different look. So maybe we'll do one of each. Okay, so there are our birds. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you use, this is the bird stamp that fills in, okay? So this is Balmy Blue, Seaside Spray. And it's real easy, because it's a photopolymer stamp, to set it over the outline. Now I want you to know, underneath this a grid paper, I have a mat. But let's see, what did I do with that? I also have a Stampin' Pierce mat, and let me just do this to be sure I get extra color. The more padding you have when you're using the photopolymer stamp, the clear stamp, the better it is. You'll get a much better impression. So I'm going to hover over with the blue here, and you can pretty much get that right on. And isn't that neat? And he even comes out with there's a little shading in the center. And I'll hold that up for you to see. But what I noticed is, well, I wanted to try something different. I guess I'll just say it that way. Because the stamp kind of gets his face kind of blue and everything. So I wanted to play with the Stampin' Blends. And so I'm going to do one of the ones stamped in Crumb Cake. I'm going to use Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to use Petal Pink. And I usually start with the light, and I work, let me see if I can get it so you can see it really well. Then I add dark later. So I'm going to just color in his little body and his wing, or maybe it's a her, I'm not sure, with the light Petal Pink. Now I'm going to go back in with the dark Petal Pink, and I'm going to color really his wing much more in the dark, because it's really kind of, usually the wing is darker. And I'm going to leave a little bit of uncolored area right there that's the lighter, just for some shading there. And I'll go off onto the edge of his wing. And then for his body, I'm going to just do a little shading, just like that. And then I'm going to come in with the Flirty Flamingo, and I really don't know that much about birds. I like them and I've had some birds, but I think these birds are the kinds that have the little breast, kind of the little red breast. And so I wanted to just give him a little bit of a little something there. Like this blue one, you know, I would think would kind of look like that. And then I'm going to go back in with the Stampin' Blend, the light petal pink, and just actually blend that. And it's subtle, it's a subtle shading, but I think it's kind of cute. And do you ever use your white Stampin' Blend? It's called, well actually it's called the Color Lifter, sorry. The Color Lifter. It actually is something neat to use. A lot of times I'll go back in with the Color Lifter and just add a bit of shading. Like I'm just putting it in there and it isn't actually white, it lifts the color. I'll see if you can see that in there, the two places I used it. And I don't know, I think it's kind of neat. It just adds some more, you can do lots of things with it and just add more shading. Now let's do one in Daffodil. Is this Daffodil Delight? No, So Saffron. So I'm going to go with the light So Saffron. I'll do it on the Smoky Slate bird. I'll go in with the light So Saffron on his body. I'll come back in with the darker one on the wing. A little shading at the bottom and the top. A little bit of the Flirty Flamingo on his tummy, or little breast area. Soften it more with the light So Saffron. Once you kind of get the hang of it, you can do it kind of quick. And then I'm going to do a little lifting right here on his wing. There. And there are your little birds. Then there's a die. I told you the die. There's a bird die that goes to the right or to the left, and there are bird stamps that go both directions. So you can stamp a bird going either direction and cut them out going either direction. Now, for sake of time, I did this in advance. I cut out 2 in advance. And oops, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my baker's twine on. I got so excited about the birds. I wanted to put this baker's twine around. I think it adds a little bit more whimsy. So I'm just going to stick it under there since we already put our white piece down, didn't we? With our Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm just going to tuck it in there and tie it around with the bow. And this is the other thing I wanted to let you know. Do you see that this is an old-fashioned clothespin, and you can get them on Amazon. And I actually like to use them for my linen thread. If I said baker's twine, that was a mistake. Boo-boo. It's really this is called linen thread, but sometimes I call it baker's twine by mistake. But I love to wind it on these because I think it gives them curl. And then when I put them on a project, they have a little curl on them. And I don't know, I'm kind of a bows and ribbons and curl person, and so I really like the curl. Now I tied the linen thread first in a knot, and then I tied it in the bow. And let's see here. To make a good bow, you adjust. You pull it a few times and just adjust it a little bit. There we go. That's pretty cute. And then these little guys hang down, and I think that's what's cute. I had that completely off camera, didn't I? I am so sorry. I apologize. You couldn't even watch. Okay, so I might trim this just a little closer up. Now let's put our birds in. What I'm going to do is put one bird in with a Stampin' Dimensional. I'll put the petal pink bird in with a Stampin' Dimensional, and I'm going to tuck him in under here and tuck his body under some leaves. I think that's kind of cute. Then I'm going to do the other one in the glue, with the glue, because he'll be down, kind of down what you might call one level. And so we're going to tuck him down under there like this. And I tilted him up a little bit so it looked kind of like he was looking up. There we go. And now a sentiment. So the Birds and Branches set does not come with a sentiment. So I found a sentiment that I really like in this new set called Posted for You. And I like Just a Note. I really like that. So I am going to stamp the Just a Note in sentiment in Old Olive. And then I'm going to punch it out with my favorite classic label punch. There it is, Just a Note. And I keep doing these things and you can't see them. I apologize. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to punch it out with the classic label punch, which I really like. And I just like the way it's quick and easy, and it makes your sentiment look so pretty, I think. It's just a nice finish for a small sentiment. There we go. And I'm going to put this little sentiment on right down here with a couple of mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I think I really just need two, and I need them just on that one side. So let's put them in there, okay? And this just, again, lifts it up just to create a little bit more interest on your card. Whoops. And we'll tuck that. I don't want it to go out past the edge of my card, but we'll just do it like that. There you go. Isn't that cute? Isn't that just a cute little card? Darlene, hey, from Wisconsin. I really liked it. And of course, you know I like to stamp on the inside of the card. Well, this is the new one. The other one I did previously, I put a little bird on the inside, and I put a little bird on the envelope. And of course, because there are birds that go both sides, you know, the birds go both directions, you have a couple of stamps that way. I could have done that, but I didn't. I just did the one little bird there, and I like the lacy, the kind of, well, not lacy, but kind of curly linen thread there. So I think this is going to be a really great stamp set. I especially love this die right here because I think we're going to be able to use that for a lot. And speaking of the holidays, even coming up with the holidays, we're going to be able to, that is a beautiful beginning to a wreath, isn't it? So I think we're going to really enjoy this stamp set. I'm so glad that you popped on. I'll get back more in the camera for you here. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, if you share, you have a chance to win. If you share this week, anytime before next Friday when I go on, you have a chance to win a package of copper dotted treat bags, and I will send those to you. I will draw from the number of people who share this video. I so appreciate you sharing, and I thank you for popping on today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you. I'm on Tuesdays also, Tuesday at 1 and Friday at 4. So I'll see you on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.